Hey everybody! Bet you thought I was going to be live a few minutes ago. Facebook did something weird, so I'm not sure if you guys are going to have trouble watching or not, but this is going to come back and be recorded. Also, I need to see if you comment. So let's add up some comments, and I would love for you to tell me if you are watching, hello, and where you are and how you're doing, even if you're watching later. So, I'm Kathy Hester, and welcome to my kitchen. Today, what we're going to do is unbox Misfits Market. And this is the Misfits of the Misfits Market. And what it is an organic produce box that I personally get the large box every week. They also have it where you can get a smaller box or you can get boxes every other week. With the new normal and all the things that are going on, it's been really calming to know that I have produce. Now, it usually, hi Jackie, yay! I was thinking about you today, and I hope if you work today, you had a good day at work. And I'm glad people are seeing this. Like, it literally took 2 to 3 minutes for a plant-based Instant Pot page to come up on my computer. So it seems to be working on mobile okay. So, yay, Brandy! And I know all you guys are going, it's past Kathy's bedtime. And it kind of is, but as you can tell from my energetic way of being, I took a nap. So I just kind of like took a little time off. I'm almost caught up on some projects, and I'm very excited about that. And I may show you a different view. I'm going to try a different camera thing. Wow, I see a lot of people are on. Hello, thank you for coming. So, Misfits Market, the box that I have costs $35 and it's $5 shipping. So Cheryl has already disinfected the box and everything. I'm still hearing varying reports about what you should or should not do with groceries from the grocery store, but with this, I've actually just been putting, and I even have my sink prepared behind me. I have one sink filled up with kind of cool water with just like a drop or two of unscented dishwashing detergent. The cool thing is then after I take that out and rinse it, I'm going ahead and breaking down the vegetables. So who knows, there might even be a part 2 of this one. Yes, naps are amazing, Miss Brandy. So let me see about this camera. Hi, Vonda. It's the first time you being live. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And you saw me on today on the there's an eCam Leap into Live streaming boot camp. And so I did 2 presentations on what I do here for you guys about how other people can do it. So I did one on live video for the Shine Reluctant, and those of you who have watched me for the past few years know that I was not excited about doing live video when I started, and another one about how I use my multi-camera setup. And Vonda, it is so good to see you here. So I'm going to try, this is going to be a little wonky, so I'm going to show you, and I apologize, it is new, but this makes me happy. Let's see, there we go. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice thing to see first thing? Okay, and I'm going to move the box, and I know I'm making you a little nauseous. I promise I'm going to stop with this. You guys never get to see the box when I open it. Doesn't that look nice? And now I will take you out of Shaky Town. But now I can use that too. Woo! Exciting. And Jackie said, you ordered another one of my cookbooks today? That's awesome, Jackie. Which one did you get? So also some of you who are new, I have 11 cookbooks, 10 are traditionally published. So if you're interested in learning about air fryers or Instant Pots, slow cookers, just easy vegan cooking, all the recipes pretty much, I would say 90% of them can be made SOS free or whole food plant-based if they're not already. So first off, there are a couple things that I ordered and I paid extra for. So let me show you. This is, let's see if there we go. You can sort of see that. And so this tells me some of the things that could have been ordered. It's not necessarily what I ordered. So, but they're having things like Bob's Red Mill. I got some oats from them not that long ago. These dates are good. They are not soft and squishy, so they need to be soaked. So, and some pantry essentials, which is really nice. They also give you a card with a recipe, and so I like to look at this and show you how easy it is to veganize it. So let me get it to where I can read it like a grown-up. How about that? And aw. Brandy says all Kathy's books are amazing, and I say all of Brandy is amazing. And Kristen said I could watch you all day as you're such a gorgeous person. Kristen, are you real? Are you a real lady holding a baby, or did somebody steal that photo? Is what I want to know. Thank you, but I just woke up from a nap, so I'm not feeling super gorgeous. And Jackie's getting Easy Vegan, and Easy Vegan, I don't have any of my books here. They're really great. They're really quick and easy recipes. And we've done a couple of those. We did some of those in the class recently. So the recipe of the week is moist apple cake. So let's talk about how we could veganize this, and then we'll talk about maybe even how we could change it to fit into your diet. So it's 3 eggs. So that's an egg substitute. That could be 3 tablespoons of aquafaba. That could be, I'd probably use a 1/4 cup of flaxseed mixed with a 1/2 cup of water. And then you could do that with chia seeds as well. And what happens with that is it congeals and it looks kind of gross. But what it does is it helps hold everything together. 3 apples diced, 1 cup granulated or light brown sugar. That could also turn into date paste with possibly adding a little more flour. And we've got flour, all-purpose flour is what they're calling for. You could probably do teff flour, a gluten-free blend, or whole wheat pastry flour. If you used just oat flour or just teff flour, I might up our new vegan egg a little bit. Baking soda, cinnamon, and it says confectioner's sugar, which I think is for the top, but you don't have to worry about that. Easy peasy, veganized. Ta-da! Kristen says, yes, I'm real and a grandma. Well, you're the nicest lady ever. That's all I have to say. I usually get those kind of comments on LinkedIn. You know, it's like some 20-year-old guy is like, I really like your smile. And I'm like, not smiling in my photo. And I'm like, you, my friend, are not real. But thank you for being a real person. I thought it would be the first time my Misfit unboxing got trolled. So that was a little bit of excitement for me. So I bought these Taza chocolates from this Pantry part, and I haven't tried them yet. They are vegan and dairy-free almond milk organic chocolate bars. So we have a classic, and we have with quinoa. So like, you know, like Rice Krispie kind of crunch stuff. What is that called? Nestle's Crunch? I think it's what it's called, or Crackle or something. So it's going to be like that. And so this does have sugar and oil and probably salt. Does it have salt too? It probably has all the, so if you're not an SOS person, these are okay. If you can get their chocolate unsweetened. These have coconut sugar, so if you're just looking to have a more unrefined version of sugar, these could be for you. It's got cocoa butter, as all chocolate does, unless they have milk fat or something else as substitute. Okay, great. Yeah, it is kind of a nice treat. And then it's got like some organic blanched almond flour. All of this is organic too. And I don't know if you can hear it's okay if you can hear the squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. That's Mr. Maxie entertaining himself. And that is fine with me. And much less irritating than him whining. It's got some sunflower lecithin and some sea salt. So these are definitely not SOS free per se. They're non-GMO, they're plant-based, and direct trade chocolate. So I like these. And let me see, I'll let you see if you can see the package below too. And I believe these bars were probably $3-ish, which is about right for this kind of fancy chocolate. But I'm going to put these to the side because since I paid extra for them, I don't want you to see them in the whole thing. So first up, I just finished using up my kale. And so those of you who are new, I have a thing. Is it as big as my head? Pretty much. These two are bigger than my head. And they look really fresh. So Brandy said it's Friday night and Max is having some fun. He is. He took a nap too. But it's a very thick bunch of kale. Let's see if we can put these here because there's going to be... And so this is not perfect. So that one's got a little bit, it's going to go bad a little bit faster, but everything's very firm and crisp. And that's what we're really, really looking for here. Okay. And then I have some poblano peppers. And again, all of this is organic. They don't fit it's as big as my head test, but for a poblano, this one's pretty big. It's as big as half of Kathy's face. So with the red kale, after I soak it, I'm going to actually go ahead and tear it up in pieces. If you have a lot of kale stems or green stems left over, just in general, if you go to healthyslowcooking.com, I have 2 different recipes, maybe 3. I think I have a kale stem pesto, the kale stem creamy sauce, and some different things. So if your family won't eat that real tough stems, if you cut it up normally, I kind of like them, but Cheryl won't eat them. You can go ahead and put them in a sauce. You can also use them to thicken smoothies. So you can use the fiber for the power of good. And Jackie said she had kale for dinner. And Tina Young says hello. Hello. You guys are awesome. Oh, and Kristen is in Australia. That's kind of one of my bucket list places. I get very excited when I can watch Australian TV. I know it's sad, but it's true. And you can't. And she said you can't get boxes like this. So these aren't all over the United States, Misfits Market in particular, but you might even see if farmers will do a box for you. So I know with the COVID-19 thing here in the States, a lot of farmers, since they can't go to the farmer's market, are allowing you to order ahead of time and pick up at the farm. I had already started using this, and I find for an organic box, the value is just immense. And you guys will see as I'm putting these things out here. So 4 poblano peppers, and there are a couple things. I could either cut these in half, fill them with like a cheesy mashed potato mix using nutritional yeast, maybe a little bit of chili powder, and then we could put these in the air fryer or the oven and let them bake, and top them with some salsa. Or I could cut them up and go ahead and chop them and put them in the freezer in a Ziploc and just pull them out and put them in chilies and things like that. The deciding factor for me is exactly how full the fridge is at that time. And let's see. And Chris says yes, and Brandy was thinking this kale would look good in a salad because of the color, and this is that red kale, but it's got like purple. To me, it's more purple because it's got green and purple. Next week, because I've gotten to the point where I can pick what's in my box mostly, and it's real red kale. It looks like it's going to be red leaves and everything, so I think that's going to be exciting. And hi, Tina. Thank you so much for using my cookbooks. I appreciate it. And Brandy said I had you at potatoes. Yeah. As soon as I found out they'd use mashed potatoes in Mexican food, my mind exploded. It's so delicious. And so when I say cheesy mashed potatoes, and you can make these whole food plant-based so easy. So literally boil the potatoes in some water. Save some of the water to use to mash into the potatoes to make them creamier because it also has starch in it. Then just use some nutritional yeast. And I do make my own chili powders, but you could just use even a chili for the stew, chili blend powder, and that would work well too. And chili rellenos, oh, that's okay, I can't say it right either. Broccoli with really long stems. So who wants to tell everybody what I use these really long stems to make? I'll give you a minute. And Allison says she has a wait list for new customers. I know it's because they literally exploded with this. So they're working around the clock. I have nothing to do with them other than being a customer, but they do send out regular updates. They upped their workers' pay so they could help pay for childcare, and they're bringing in food. They're doing a lot of nice things that make me feel good about supporting them. Okay, so those of you who may be new to me, I make something. If you don't have a Trader Joe's, you don't know what I'm talking about. Cruciferous Crunch. And Cruciferous Crunch is like cabbage and Brussels sprouts and carrots that have all been kind of loosely grated. It's more like a big machine chop if you get the Trader Joe's one. So I pull out my food processor and I'm using the large grate blade right now. And I grate like half a green cabbage, half a red cabbage. I peel these stems. I save these until I'm ready because these stems will last for a while because you can cut off the ends and then peel them. Put those through the grater as well with some carrots. And this mix, because the cruciferous stuff lasts a long time, it lasts for 7 days. Sometimes you can push it a little further, or you can freeze some of it if you're going to cook it. But the batch that's in the fridge, I can put on salads. Today I used a Thai peanut sauce that I had bought, and I just sauteed it with extra Brussels sprouts and served it with some air fried tempeh on top. It was so good. But yeah, this is some big broccoli too. So there's the head test. I don't know if anybody enjoys the head test but me, but hey, you got to get your fun while you can. So I'm going to sit that around here. These guys. I've just changed cameras, so I'm still trying to figure out where I need to be for all this. Oh, little wee broccoli needs to go back over there. And Jackie said, I wish I had a Trader Joe's near me. I know. But you know what? It's so much cheaper to make your own cruciferous crunch. You guys, collard greens, and everything's organic, which I think is really super awesome. And unfurled, these are definitely bigger than my head. So, and when I'm talking about saving these stems, see like these big bulky stems here? Those are the ones that I take apart. So I'm going to take these wraps off, submerge them in the soapy water, and then wash them and kind of let them air dry until I go to bed. Then I'm going to go ahead and break them down into bite-sized pieces. If you wanted to save them for wraps or something, you don't have to break them down. But if I break it down, then all I have to do is reach in the fridge and throw it into a saute, and I do like that very much. And let's see what we got here. Yeah, and Kristen was saying you can use like cauliflower rice. So it's very true. So anything like that, if I'm making a big batch to make carrot rice, cabbage rice, broccoli stem rice, you can do any of that. I put it in the food processor through the grater because that's the easiest way to do it on my wrists. Then I would pour it out, change to the choppy blend, and just pulse until it's as small as rice. Or you can pulse it a little smaller to make vegetable couscous or vegetable grits. So you can make cauliflower grits that way. Broccoli slaw. Yeah, broccoli slaw is really awesome too, and it is cabbage and broccoli. And it usually uses mostly broccoli stems that get wasted. And I have bought broccoli slaw too just to keep it and to have something to throw in, because you can throw it in anything. Like we topped some tacos with my cruciferous crunch, right? It's just easy way to add a little boost of nutrition. Also, it's a great way to go ahead and prep a bunch of vegetables so that they're just there and ready for you to eat. So with the new normal lasting, 6 weeks so far, I had a little lull. I was like, woo! And then I just we didn't eat as well. I didn't prep as many things. I didn't do that. So this week I've been really mindful about going back and prepping things instead of just throwing the whole broccoli in there. So what I'm going to do is after I wash it, I'm going to cut the stem, those big stems from it, and put it in a separate container to put in there because I need to use the top of the broccoli before I use the stems. Hi, Marilyn. Welcome to Kathy's house on an exciting Friday night. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, yeah. And Jackie's saying black-eyed peas, collards, and rice. Yum. And Tina's saying, how do I use the collard greens? I've never had them or used them. So collard greens are traditional southern United States fare. So it has as much, if not more, nutrition than kale and any of the other greens. And so in the South, they're often cheaper because they grow a lot. So you could just saute it, and you can water saute if you're oil free. So don't feel like whenever I say saute, I mean you have to do oil. A lot of times I will saute an onion, a little bit of garlic, put in the torn pieces. I've made them Asian style by squeezing an orange and getting the orange juice, like maybe the juice of one orange in there. You could put a little bit of tamari, something like that, to make them not southern. Southern style would be with some apple cider vinegar, because collards can be a little bitter, a bitter green. So the apple cider vinegar takes some of that off. I put liquid smoke. You could also use smoked paprika. And what else? There's something else I was going to say. Vinegar, smoked paprika, hot sauce. That's what I was going to say. Any kind of hot sauce. Yeah, and you can use them like a wrap. So they're thicker than a lot of other greens. Let's see if I can. So you see how thick that is? And actually, let's go ahead. We'll unwrap these so you can see what we're dealing with. And sometimes collards can be smaller leaves or larger leaves. It just can depend on the time of the growing season. So you'll notice that some of these are even different sized. But and see, this one has some holes, but this one is giant. So that's one that I would break down. But this would be one that you could clean really good. And you want to make sure with any of these greens, including the kale, but especially the collards, you're looking down here, see, there's an aphid. So it's a little bug that looks just like the collards do. And so you just want to make sure to rinse and clean them very well. You could either steam this and then roll it up, or use it like a cabbage roll. Anything like that would totally work too. So hopefully that helps. Okay, let's get these in here. Big old pile of collards. And next I've got some lettuce, 2 little hydroponic bunches. They're not huge, but they're very nice and fresh. And actually, it's not butter lettuce. It must be green leaf, because it's got a little more heft to it. So that's kind of nice. And I've got 2 of those. And that's something that I am going to try and eat first. These other things will last longer than the lettuce, so you kind of have to plan that a little bit. Are the stems on collard greens as tough as the kale stems? Usually they are more tough, especially when they're bigger like this. And so let's use this. Oh, there we go. So you see how thick that is compared to, or actually one just fell off, so that's good enough. And that's just a medium one. You guys see that? So they are even thicker and can be more tough. Now in the winter, a lot of times collards are smaller where I live, because we grow them all winter long, our farmers do. So we're in a climate, and I think they do that in a lot of cold climates too, in greenhouses. I got some green beans, and these are looking fine. They're looking better than any green beans than I've got in a while. Sometimes, yeah, there's no blemishes on these at all. So sometimes, there we go. These may have scarring or black marks, and the way you can tell if it's good or if it's scarring is if it's firm. And these are really lovely, lovely green beans. And so we've got those in there. I have, let's see what I have. I have some mangoes. I really need probably a bigger lens. I got some celery. And look at these beautiful, beautiful leaves. And you can use these in your soups and stews or to chop up on your salads, and they're delicious. You can also juice celery if you did not know already. There we go. I've got some onions because I'm almost out of all the onions from the giant onion cutting session that we did a while ago. I got some carrots, and this time I think it looks like I've got mostly thinner baby carrots. Sometimes you'll get these big giant honking carrots, which I still love. And now we have fruit. So I've got some apples, and I think we've gotten about five or six apples. 6 apples. And then I have a variety of citrus fruit. Yeah, and Brandy's right. You can keep the bottom of the celery. Although this celery did not have the bottom, it just has these guys, right? So sometimes it's all connected. When it's all connected, you can totally put that in some water and regrow it. Also, where are my little guys here? I had a celery root and some big giant carrots compared to the little carrots. And I've been regrowing that. So these are this is a celery root, which is not what that celery came from, but this stuff tastes just like celery. So I'm going to cut some of it off as it grows. These carrots, we can also use the carrot greens in different things. So it's kind of cool to do that, and it's definitely a fun quarantine project to do. Okay, so I've got some, I should know what the citrus is I ordered, but I just ordered some other. So like, okay, there's a little spot. It's not super soft, but it is a dent, so I'll probably not use the zest from that part. And there's a little part here that looks this is scarred. Actually, that's scarred too. It looked kind of moldy, but I think it's scarred. And so there's some big, let's get these guys over here so I can get, because I have kind of a lot of citrus. And I think these are the same, whatever these are. And then I have, those don't have labels. These little guys have labels, and they say they are golden nugget mandarins. And so I have a bunch of golden nugget mandarins. And then I have some other unknown citrus, which perhaps is just regular old oranges. And I got 4 of the giant unknown oranges. Could that be navel? Looks navel-esque. That one did. Mandarins, and I think these are probably just regular old oranges, to tell you the truth. So this is a lot of organic food, and you guys can see it this way too. I think I have everything far back enough. It's a lot. So it comes from all the way over here to back here. And Carol said, Brandy, regrow the lettuce. Let's see, the bottoms of lettuce. Okay, that's interesting. I did just try that with the butter lettuce, and it did not grow. I will try it with the bottoms from this. I don't know if it's because it's hydroponic, or but like green leaf head lettuce, and I think romaine head lettuce is supposed to regrow. And Brandy said that she did it in the community garden, tore off what we needed, and it kept growing. That's awesome. I love that idea. Okay, guys, well, I've showed you all of my bounty and talked about some of the things about what we can do with it. Also, don't forget, if you have oranges and any kind of citrus fruit, you could go ahead, clean it really good, even if it is organic, zest it, and you can freeze the zest on like a small sheet pan or something so that it can freeze a little individually, like the little strands, and then put it into a Ziploc bag, and you can pull out fresh zest for stir fries or cakes or oatmeals or different things like that. So that's one way you can like double your money on some of your citrus. And if you're not eating all the citrus and it's starting to look a little sad, go ahead and juice it. And you can use the juice in soup, stews, sauteing your veggies. You can make a nice cocktail or a mocktail with it as well. So that's something that we've been doing with a lot of our citrus fruit. Hey, Miss Susan, welcome. And the replay will be up, but you can see, this is, to me, if I went to Sprouts and I bought all this stuff, I can't imagine it being $35. I just can't, unless absolutely everything was on Sprouts Super Sale. So that's one of the reasons I like Misfits Market. I will try and remember to put a code up, but if you go to the Plant-Based Instant Pot Facebook page and find another Misfits Market video, there will be a code where you can get 25% off your first box. I will come back and put it up here, or perhaps Cheryl will do it if she is still online. If you're online, please do it. And Jackie said, do you put anything in your water to help get rid of bugs when you wash your greens? I just put a little dish detergent in there. And that's the same thing if I was growing something and aphids were on it, you spray soapy water on it. So usually the stuff that's been here has been washed at least once. So I don't feel like we have a whole lot, though with greens and cabbage and things like that, you can definitely have some bugs nesting in there. Just be careful. Oh, that sounds good. Brandy says, I know someone who juiced apples and cooks rice in the apple juice. Absolutely. You could do all kinds of things. It would be kind of cool to cook rice in orange juice with some cardamom and then maybe add a little cashew cream or something to make like a really interesting rice pudding. I don't know, just thinking. That's okay. Cheryl's like, I wasn't paying good attention. That's okay. I'll do it in a minute. Okay, let's see. Jackie answered your question, answered that. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging in there with me. And as always, it was a pleasure to have you in my kitchen. If you're looking for some recipes for these veggies or some other veggies you have, don't forget I have a ton of recipes on plantbasedinstantpot.com and healthyslowcooking.com. And who knows, I might even come back on over the weekend. I am going to start trying to go live once a week. With my Misfits Market box, if you are a Misfits subscriber, know that they are running behind. So typically I get my scheduled delivery day is Wednesday, and I've been getting them on Fridays or Saturdays. They're just working as hard as they can. If you're on the wait list, just try and be patient. I think it's still been well worth it. And I will say there's some of the boxes, even during the new normal, have been pretty heavy. And Jackie was saying add cinnamon and raisins to that orange juice rice extravaganza. That sounds like a good idea. Okay, so plantbasedinstantpot.com, healthyslowcooking.com, and I will soon come and put up, it depends on where you're watching, honestly, if it's up or down. I'll put the link to, if you want to get on the Misfits Market waiting list, I would go ahead and do that. You can always decide to get off of it if you have found a different source for your veggies. Okay? Have an amazing weekend. Do something just for yourself, even if it's just to sit and read or take a little walk or eat an orange.